Hey all, Sai here! So I looked up a picture of a hummingbird and I printed it off. And then I turned it around and put it on a light box and traced it. So I'm going to try to make that. So I cut out all of the shapes and I glued them to the corresponding piece of wood. I put blue tape on the wood and then used Loctite spray adhesive to hold the pieces on the blue tape that is on the wood. I used holly, yellow heart, padauk, blue pine, and ebony. Then started cutting out the pieces on the scroll saw. I am using a Pegasus Modified Geometry Blade number 1, and it cuts 1/3 of an inch to 3/5 of an inch, and I just cut something with it and I love it. It's awesome. I continued on cutting all of the different pieces and the hummingbird came together. Then I removed almost all of the papers. Then rough shaped with the pneumatic drum sander. Then I did some hand shaping with 100 grit sandpaper, then sanded everything with 150 and 220 after that. The eye is 3 separate pieces, and 2 pieces are holly and 1 is ebony. And this was the last thing I needed to sand. Then I spot glued the small pieces together to make larger sections. I was going to use the bird-shaped backer that I'd painted black right there in the lower right of the screen, but I didn't cut it out right. So I decided to cut out some different pieces. I'm not sure what kind of wood it is, but I glued them to a 1/4 inch plywood backer. I just wanted something other than plywood this time, or in addition to the plywood. So I glued those on and then I put some sandbags on for weight. Oh, I punctured another sandbag. Rats! Punctured it! Oh well. Yay! Okay, let's smooth the edges. Smoothing the edges was super quick and easy on my sander. I have 80 grit on it, so I went over it with 150. I tried using the lacquer thinner technique to add a verse and my logo to the back, but it didn't work very well on this plywood. And it's a fairly smooth surface too. So I sanded it off and I used the wood burner, and that worked really well. The verse I put on is Psalm 50:11, which says, "I know every bird on the mountains and every living thing in the fields is mine." Then I added a wire hanger. I laid it all out on the backer, and then I found a drawing of a flower and I printed that. And then I started gluing it all with the wood glue. The actual picture of the hummingbird has only 1 foot showing, but I added this other foot to make it look like it's turned some, showing the belly, which is my very favorite part because that blue pine naturally turns lighter right there on the belly and it just looks cool. And I had taken a picture of it with just 1 foot and it just didn't look right, so I just added that other little foot. Then I thought about the flower and was initially going to try and router it in, but I decided to make an Intarsia flower with purple heart. And then the stamens inside, I used an orangish color wood, which I think is orange osage, or however you say it. So I cut that out, shaped it, and sanded it, and then I glued it on with the hummingbird. I've been trying out different finish sprays, clear. And so this one is Krylon Colormaster Clear. Kind of different than the other Krylon Clear I've been using. And so I tried that out. Yay, the hummingbird, it's all done! Woohoo! And I forgot to put the catch light or specular highlight into the eye. But I could always do it with a little bit of paint, or I could go back and drill in there and try to put it in. So I'll probably do one of those things, I'm not sure which. So thanks for joining me, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye!